What is going on YouTube? Not Moran's here, and in this video today we're going to be going over the 25 best Fortnite tips for Season 6. Alright, as always, if you like the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, and turn on those post notifications so you know exactly what I'm doing and when I'm going to be dropping the videos. Without further ado, I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's jump right into the video.
Alrighty YouTube, starting this off with tip number 1, we're going to be talking about dead zones. Alright, so scroll all the way down right here. You see you're going to be in this little controller and setting, that little cogwheel setting. So you're going to scroll all the way down. Your dead zones are going to be sitting right here. Alright, now mine is at 10 and 5. Alright, it's really important that you stick the right stick dead zone as far down as you can before you get stick drift. Okay, what a dead zone is it essentially is how much movement that your stick is going to like put in before it registers the movement. So when you move your right stick with a high dead zone, it's going to take a lot more stick movement before the controller registers the actual movement. Okay, so long story short, it's best to keep these on the lower side if you can avoid the stick drift, because it's going to be a lot more responsive. Number 2 has to do with landing at hotter drops. Okay, I see a lot of people, they still play these games like they should land at a spot that's very far away off the bus path, and that may be the best for staying alive longer, but if you want to improve your gameplay, I would not do that. Okay, now that we're in Season 6 with this, most people do know the game, and you know that you should be running into people in order to max out what you're going to be doing as far as fighting with them. If you land at sort of like a softer spot all the time, you might only run into one fight a game, because that one fight a game might be the one that kills you. You might as well land hot and develop your skills while you can. The next tip is just simply doing edit courses. Okay, if you followed my channel for any amount of time now, you know how much that I truly enjoy doing these edit courses and how much that I think they help, whether they're pre-game or just on your own time when you want to do it. I'm going to throw up here on the window Raiders edit courses, the two ones that I use, the warm-up edit course and the Peace Control edit course. I think these two are the best and are going to help you out a lot. The next tip also has to do with creative matches. This isn't going to be an edit course, but this is going to be something like a matchmaking service where you can go in and 1v1 someone else. Either you can use this as either like a warm-up, or some people even play their games with it. It's Finest Realistics map. I'll throw the code up for this one as well. You do 1v1s, 2v2s. I think you can even do maybe like up to 4v4s on this one. I'm not sure, but it'll be up there at the top. You can take a look at that and use that however you want. The next thing that you really got to learn right now here in Season 6 is the different crafting mechanics. I used to hate the crafting mechanics, but now I've actually grown to kind of enjoy it, because I know like how simple it is to get a purple pump nowadays if you have all the right gears and materials. Also, the bows are very, very good. They're really craftable too, especially if you can get the stink bow with one frog, or a flame bow with a gas can, or anything like that. I would just look up. They have guides everywhere where you can just pretty much look up and find all of like the craftable materials in the game. Just take a screenshot of it and then you can look at it. Knowing how to craft certain things is going to be super, super important, and what ingredients they take, because earlier on in the game, you're most likely going to get the makeshift guns, which is shitty. And, you're going to want to get out of that soon and craft that. So that's also going to dictate where you have your landing spot, and we'll get into that later in the video. So the next tip goes along with the crafting mechanic. This is going to be also the upgrade mechanic, because there's really nothing worse than finding a green pump on the ground and you can't upgrade it further because you can't get the gears and you can't upgrade it like that. So I found a locations list of where all the upgradable merchants are, and I'm going to throw it up here on the screen for you. You can take a look at it, screenshot it, whatever you got to do, and then you'll always have that. Next tip on the list in Season 6 is knowing when to pick fights and when not to. I see too many people all the time. They'll get cracked for a pump and be like only 50 health, and then they're still just trying to fight the guy that was on them. Knowing when to pick fights, when to rush people, when to ramp rush is a huge thing that you have to be aware of. If you're lower in the health than the other player by like a large margin, you should not be pushing them. Try and do anything, tunnel out, get health, take your minis. And sometimes you're going to be backed up against a wall where, you know, you don't have that situation. You have to fight them and it is a do or die, but for the most part, it isn't. You need to know when to rush teams and when to not rush teams. If you guys are both like 200 and you see like you are the solo in it and you're up against a duo or something like that, then you know you shouldn't be pushing these guys if you're looking to try and, you know, get a win and put yourself in like the best placement. Next tip for you has to do with arena mode and then regular mode, and sort of like one difference that I've noticed over my time of playing both. If you're sitting there in Champions League, for the most part, a lot of people want to make it till end game because you're going to have those stacked end games, and a lot of people like playing that for the most part. Just know that the majority of the people in those arena games are going to be on edge of map, because everyone in that game is pretty much trying to stay alive and win for placement. So most of the people are going to go on edge of map, and then when zone comes in, they're going to be right on that edge of the zone. So I've found that in solo games, it's much easier to play edge of map and be all right than on arena games. On arena games, for the most part, I usually go in the middle of the map. I find like the least amount of people there, you can pick good fights, get good guns. But if you're on edge of map and get in a fight with someone and then have to rush for zone, you pretty much have no chance of getting out of that fight because you're so far away from circle, and you're gonna have to get in the fight with that. The next tip in this video is probably the most important one, to be honest with you, and that is to smash the like button at the bottom of this video. Come on, guys, if you're enjoying it and have watched it this far, why don't you just smash the like button? Why don't you just help me out a little bit? You know what I'm saying? All right, thanks. Learning to tunnel and stay on the ground is also really important too. I see a lot of my friends, and I'm guilty of doing this honestly all the time, and I need to get better at it, is staying on the ground, because I'll go up and try and ramp rush a lot of the time and just get height on people, and it's not as important in regular solo games, but once you get into the arena games and everyone is looking at you from distance and just going to hit you with an AR, that's something you don't want to be doing. So if you stay in the ground and on your box a lot more, you can easily fight people from there and you won't get hit as much from other people that are farther away. Moving on, the next tip has to do with controller players for the most part, and that is putting your shotgun in the first slot. I made a whole video pretty much dedicated to why you should put your shotgun in the first slot, so I'm going to link that up at the top right, and you should be able to just click that if you're interested in figuring out why, but it makes a huge, huge difference. One other tip that is going to make a huge difference, especially in the controller game, as we were talking about before with like controller player kind of stuff, is learning to make all of your binds as best as you can to where you don't take any of your thumbs off the movement sticks. I mean, this has been like well documented, and it's been done a lot. There are a lot of YouTube videos out there. It can be done with any controller, one if you're using 2 paddles, no paddles, stock controller, 4 paddles. There is also, if you're playing claw or something like that, there's best binds for that out there. You know, just do your homework with whatever controller player and style that you have set up to where you're going to be able to maximize the best binds for you, where you're not taking the buttons off the sticks. Makes a huge difference. I also just recently did a 4 paddle tutorial, which is what I play with. I use 4 paddles, so I'll link that up there at the top right too if you're interested in that one. Next up is going to be using a wired connection with your controller. All right. I've seen a few videos done like this before, and a little bit of research go into it, where a wired connection is going to get a faster input response from either your console or your PC. So if you're using a Bluetooth connection on either like your controller to your PC or to your console, I'd recommend getting one of those like USB connectors and plugging it in. You'll probably see a faster response time. Moving forward, a quick and easy tip is just turn on auto open doors. Come on, guys, why aren't you using auto open doors? It's season 6, for crying out loud. If you mess up with your peanut butter edits, for the most part, you're probably going to just do a door edit, and then you're just going to be stuck there and not able to go through the door without pressing a button. You have auto open doors, you can at least open the door and shoot the guy and you might not be expecting it. All right, this one's not really talked about nearly as much, but it is playing random games to meet new people in the game. Most of my friends don't play this game anymore. My in real life friends don't really play this game anymore, so I sort of had to find a way to meet new people at this game to sort of like expand and grow with it. So doing randoms with that actually helped out a lot. There's also a few websites that you can go on. I forget the name of them exactly, but once I find it, I'll link in the description down below, and you can actually go in and get like a random 1v1, and that's actually really helpful as well. You can also do the realistics, creative matchmaking and stuff, but it gives you like a better opportunity to talk to them, and they might look you up. So moving on, the next tip is going to be staying on top of the best high ground retakes in certain metas on this game. And this one, you guessed it, I made another video about the 3 best high ground retakes for console players and sort of like medium tier players. I'm going to link that up there at the top too. If you want to see that one, you can go ahead and take a look. That one is on my channel. Pretty good information there. Going away from the topic of the things that we've been talking about, the next one is actually switching to metal for late game. I see a lot of players still using wood late game, and by the most part, for the most part, when people are around you, they have the flame bows, other sorts of things that can just obliterate the wood. Way better to switch to metal late game. It's going to keep you a lot more protected. This tip has to do with what shotgun you should pick up based on what player you are. Okay, if you're more of a player that likes to W key and just run into other people's boxes and just sort of spray and pray, the primal shotgun is going to be for you. That gun's actually very, very powerful in the game right now, and I mean it's a solid option even for other players that are more tactical. But the pump shotgun has a way better damage output for one shot. So if you are someone that plays a little bit more tactically and just wants to sort of get peeks and shots when you can for big damage, the pump is going to be the shotgun for you. Next one's going to be placing a cone in a box instead of a stair. A lot of people put staircases down in the middle of their box, and it's just really not as versatile as the cone. You can't flip it as easily, edit, and you won't be able to place another one as quick and in the right spot as you would a cone. Next tip is all about getting a warm-up in. You can use any of those courses that I already mentioned below, but I really would suggest getting at least 30 minutes in before you play a game if any of these games are going to be high stakes, because you really want to get sort of like your joints loose in a sense, and you want to get that fine motor movement down. Next up, we have walking with your crosshair at head level. If you walk with your crosshair at head level, it's going to be so much easier for you to land headshots. Most people walk when they're looking at the ground, and then when a person actually comes up in front of them, they have to lift their crosshair up in order to try and land a headshot or at least a strong body shot. If you use the crosshair at head level, it's going to be much easier on you to land that shot as you need. Next tip I have for you is to not use confirm, edit, on release. Confirm, edit, on release is a lot easier to use essentially, but I actually talked about this in another video as well, where confirm, edit, on release actually won't be the best for you becoming the best player that you can at this game. It is just much slower with regards to click speed. And also, if you are on a higher ping, like a decent amount of people are, it's going to be a lot slower than having the triple edit binds, which essentially means you use 3 buttons to edit with that you can press all at the same time. Next tip, another super important one. Come on, guys, why aren't you subscribed to the channel already? If you made it this far, why don't you just hit the little subscription thing down there at the bottom right of the video? It'd mean a lot to me. Trying to grow this channel, do it all for you guys. Thanks again. Another tip I think that really needs to be addressed is not following big streamers or big Fortnite players' settings to a T. Like, you can follow what they have to say, obviously, because they have like really good information, but I would not go in and just blindly change your settings to what they have. They have like the best internet connections, best gear, best anything possible, and you're just simply not them at the current time. So don't make really large adjustments based on the recommendations that they make. Slowly increase it based on how you are as a player. All right, guys, lastly, the final one isn't really a tip, but if you made it that far in the video, please go down there, leave a comment. Type in the little comment box, not Moran's, just to let me know that you watched the video full through. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed filming it. I'm hoping to do more stuff like this in the future. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps so much for the algorithm, and it's going to help me out grow this channel and, you know, keep doing the Fortnite content that I really enjoy doing. So really appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys, and I will catch you guys next time.